first failure that it really changed the way I do things is I took some photos of a lady on top of Museum Tower uptown Charlotte, and I left that sessions like I did it. This is the best I've ever done. It's these images are solid. I love them. I can't wait to edit them and post them. And so I sent this lady a proof gallery, and she emailed me right back and said, I hate them.
Welcome to the Unknown Options, the place where we explore the unknown options. My name is Will, and today I have with me Michael Wilson, Charlotte's top photographer. Michael, it's great to have you here. Your journey is important. So we want to highlight the good, the bad, the ugly. For someone who might not know, what is headshot photography?
So headshot photography, a lot of people need certain images to brand their business or brand themselves personally. So headshots, my definition is a shoulder up shot basically of your face, kind of to promote yourself, kind of help you. It's a first impression in the digital world basically, and can use to show you looking your best. And that's very important with the competition. Most people have the competition's either just as good as you are, if not better. So how do you stand out? There's more to getting a job than just your credentials. Looking the part, looking the professional, looking like the expert. The confidence is all things that could get you hired, get you promotion, or help you be personable with your clients. And that's basically the gist of headshot photography. And the main thing is just specialize in it.
Perfect. Awesome. I love that. It's how you set yourself apart. Like you said, a lot of resumes are identical or not maybe identical, but maybe the same. So headshot photography is how you really set yourself apart. It's a really niche, sect of photography. What was your journey in really becoming a headshot, and not even a headshot photographer, the top headshot photographer in Charlotte, North Carolina?
So the journey started, I bought my first camera when my kids were infants. I just wanted to take pictures and document their life. That was basically starting my journey. And I kind of wore out my welcome taking pictures of them. I was kind of the dad that always had the camera with me. And so my kids every time I pulled out my camera, they went the other way. So at that point, I wanted to get better at using my camera. So I started working with Instagram bloggers and kind of collabing, just trading my service in order to take pictures for them and giving them content to have on Instagram. And that gave me how to shoot in different light situations, how to use my camera properly, and just get more experience behind my camera. And then from there, people started requesting images, family images, and I found out quick that I'm not one to take family photos. It just wasn't enjoyable. And then professionals started requesting headshots, and I take it. And I really like working with professionals and the one-on-one aspect, or working with a few people in the business. And so I kind of niched into that and worked on getting really good at it. And then it just started snowball effect.
Okay. I like that. You started with your kids. So even though you started with your kids, did you ever imagine yourself, picking up a camera like high school, or maybe a younger Michael, maybe like even elementary school or middle school? Were you ever like artistic or creative?
I like to draw back when I was in elementary school, and going through high school. I always liked photography. It was kind of out of my budget then.
Okay.
And I just never messed with it. And from then, you get in the workforce and just try to work your way up through there. And I just ended up I bought a camera for my wife back when we were dating, and she wanted to get in photography. And so that camera ended up staying in the closet most of the time, except if we went on a trip or whatever.
Okay.
And so once we had kids, I pulled the camera out of the closet and tried to learn how to use it. Failed miserably, and ended up buying another camera. And so just started, same thing, taking pictures of my kids. And I never imagined, like, 5 years ago that it would turn into a business, a profitable business. So it was kind of a journey, kind of finding out, oh, I really have a passion in photography. I just didn't really know it.
I love that. I love how her journey became your journey, because that happens. That happens a lot more than we know. I know you mentioned that you couldn't afford a camera at one time. Usually, we asked our guests, "Is college required to be the profession?" Obviously, I don't. Well, maybe not. I know there's maybe be some classes. What is like the barrier to entry to becoming a headshot photographer?
So to be honest, the journey is just getting out and doing, taking action. Okay. That's the entry level, the way I look at it. I mean, you got to enjoy it. This is something, if you don't enjoy, you're not going to make a business out of it. Because there's times where I liked it, just the hobby of it, and I never thought about the business part. Because once actually turn into a business, it become 10% photography, 90% business, in which can be not enjoyable if you just like photography, the fun of it, because now I got to deal with all the business aspects of it. But it's just going through that and figuring out how to do. And then YouTube is great. I mean, you can learn anything off YouTube, but the main thing is just taking action and don't quit. Learn from your failures, because I failed a lot going through this journey, and just learning from that and keep moving forward. Keep taking action and moving forward, to me, is the way to make anything work.
Definitely. I agree. And I agree, failure is a great motivator. What do you think was your biggest or maybe most beneficial failure into propelling you to where you are now?
So early on, when I started, my main thing was, if I can learn to take a great picture, everybody was going to want to hire me. And so that's all I focused on, is image quality, taking sharp, clean images. And of course, it brought in more business. But the first failure that it really changed the way I do things is I took some photos of a lady on top of Museum Tower uptown Charlotte. And I left that sessions like, I did it. This is the best I've ever done. These images are solid. I love them. I can't wait to edit them and post them. And so I sent this lady a proof gallery, and she emailed me right back and said, I hate them.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
And then I couldn't get a response from like phone or email from her for 3 days.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, what's going on? Because these are the best pictures I've ever taken.
Yeah.
And so the problem ended up being that, one, she didn't like her outfit. She just moved in the Museum Tower, didn't realize the pool and the guest area or the lounge area was right there. So in most of my pictures, the pool was snuck in a little bit, and it wasn't the vibe she was going for. And some of the images, she liked them as far as image quality and all that. She liked them, but it wasn't what she wanted. And my problem was, I didn't communicate how I should before the session to find out exactly what she wanted, and go over little detail stuff, outfits, this and that. So everything we have a plan before the shoot, and then during the shoot, it'd be very efficient, and we get exactly what she wanted. And the big part was, I didn't communicate well with her to actually understand what she wanted. And so that was the problem. The images were fine, but it wasn't what she wanted. So they were useless. And so that gave me the idea, or I need to start communicating better. I need to ask better questions. I need to find out the intent for these photos, whether they're needed for marketing, a website, whatever. And we need to come up with a game plan before we shoot, so I know exactly what I'm doing to deliver to the client, so she's happy.
Definitely.
And so that was a big lesson right there.
I love that. Communication is everything. And after you develop that communication with your client, how does like your sessions look now? If you could give us like roughly like your from communication to the client to the end, what does like the day-to-day of Michael and of a headshot photographer look like? If that makes sense.
So learning what questions to ask, and I get asked frequently, is one is developing a frequently asked questions page where a lot of common questions, because I really never understood how important stuff like that is, because I've never owned a business before. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this is common sense, and it's like developing how do I buy things, and what's my decision if I'm looking for a photographer or some kind of service. Google, I'm trying to research a little bit before I actually purchase a session. So having stuff like frequently asked questions, far as email, make sure I'm in contact with them, an email, phone. Nowadays, you're in LinkedIn DM, Instagram DM. There's several ways to communicate. Make sure just the details. We got the outfit sorted. Ask them 20 times what questions do they have. Mm-hmm. So it gives them a chance to answer anything. Make myself available to them through email or all channels of communications if you have a question before the session. So that's big. I don't want to get it where like I'm bugging somebody, but I need them to know. I need to know these details before we start.
Perfect. Okay, I love that. On the last note, I guess, of the first part of the interview, if you were a younger Michael, 18, just graduated high school, maybe you had the knowledge of headshot photography, the knowledge of what you do now, would you do anything differently?
No, I'd go straight into photography if I was starting over at a younger age, because I would definitely be in a lot better place than I am right now if my journey started with photography.
Definitely. Okay. Nice. We love that. Okay. That's the conclusion of the first part of the interview. This next part is called the not so speed round. We're going to ask you 4 questions they're interesting questions, and you can answer them however you want to. The first one is, what does a world without a headshot photographer look like? Or maybe even headshot. What does a world without headshot photography look like?
So it's hard to stand out without headshots. A lot of people don't think headshots matter. They think their hustle is where it's at. Their hustle game's strong. They don't really need a headshot. But sometimes, like I said earlier, your competition is just as good as you are, if not better. Yeah. So you need other ways to stand out. And a lot of people are not going to read your resume all the way through.
Yeah.
Or a lot of people are just not even going to read it at all because you don't stand out at all. Mm-hmm. People hire you or want to buy from you different ways. Sometimes they like buying from people that look just like them. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that stands out. People with big beards attract other people with big beards, and if they see that, they're more common to see what you have to offer than somebody else. Definitely. Or like guys that wear custom made suits, that attracts other guys that wear custom made suits. And your connections and resources matter in business. It causes a lot of word of mouth, a lot of referrals, stuff like that. So all that matters. And it's big to have your image and a shot of you looking your best, because a lot of times you don't always look your best. So that matters, that you got that constant professional image, whether on your email signature is big. To me, that's the best place to use your headshot. LinkedIn is where you're standing out against other professionals. Anything like that is a big deal. You have, like, realtors have their yard signs, and any way you can get unfair advantage in business is a big deal.
Definitely.
And a lot of people are on Zoom calls these days with the remote workers, but don't always turn their camera on. And you see these pictures, they're all over the place. And a lot of them are not professional.
Yes.
And that could be one reason that you're overlooked sometimes getting a promotion, because you look like a slob. And you don't see it, and nobody's going to tell you that because they don't want you to be mean.
Yeah.
But little stuff like that is what helps stand out, because if this person looks the part and they can do the same job, they only get the job, or they only get the client.
Definitely.
So, and plus, with the digital world, this works for you. A lot of people are viewing your profile while you're sleeping, on vacation, handling clients or whatever.
Yeah.
So this works for you when you're not around, because you cannot go to every in-person networking meeting to drive sales. You got to have something else that can help you do it. And shots of you looking your best, or arsenal of professional photos, helps in that aspect.
Definitely. I 100% agree. Shameless plug. Michael took my headshots, and I can tell you, I work for like a really large cybersecurity firm, and like everyone, also like your pictures look like amazing every time someone sees it. Like, so it's like Michael's. I mean, he won the top photographer in Charlotte for a reason, and obviously he's talking to what he knows, and it's like, it's very true. People with big beards do tend to vibe people with big beards. It's like it makes sense. So it's like it makes 100% sense. Okay, I like that. Okay, the second question is, are you underpaid or overpaid as a headshot photographer?
I think I'm right where I want to be. If that answers your question, I think I'm doing well.
Yeah.
It's everybody has a different opinion with headshots and how headshots are priced.
True.
It's an investment definitely in you, and it can help you make more money. Yeah. And so that's why usually headshots are expensive, and it helps with marketing. And all photographers can take a headshot. Anybody can take a headshot. A lot of photographers look at it as simple, but there's only a few that take headshots that actually stand out. And those are the ones that give you an ROI on your investment. So it's just like, if you come to me with wanting family pictures, I'm going to refer you to another photographer, because they're probably better at it. I could take a well-exposed family shot and it's going to look good, but they can do it better. They can give you the image you want to hang over your fireplace.
I like that.
And so with me, with headshot, I'm going to give you a headshot that's on put more cash in your pocket.
I like that.
So it's just different ways. And as far as pricing, I think I'm right where I want to be right now.
Nice. I like that. I like that. I think it shows your character, that you wouldn't just like get a cash grab, because I know people come to you for all types of photos, and it's like, if you know you can take a good photo, but if someone can take a better one, you get that referral. I really respect it, and I love that. What's one person, book, or event that changed the trajectory of your life?
So let's say, for
just
a book, I'll read a lot of personal development books, and a lot of them I'll have the same message, but two really stand out to me. Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week.
Okay.
Or I think that was the name of it. That was the first time I was like, read something, I was like, wow, this is doable. I can create a lot more freedom in my life while still making money.
Yeah.
And, I'm nowhere near that where I can just work 4 hours and still make
Yeah.
a ton of cash.
Yeah. It's a good dream though. Good goal. Good goal. It's a good goal.
Yeah. But I'm also now 100% in control of what I want to do instead of other people making decisions for me.
Awesome.
And so it gives me the freedom where I can work anywhere I want to. I can take vacations when I want to, stuff like that. So it kind of changed the way I think about stuff. Instead of you have to work your 9 to 5 and then have a good investment strategy and work your way up to get promotions, this and that. So it gave me a different look on things where I can do what I want and still make money. I don't have to do the traditional route of the 9 to 5.
Definitely.
And then another book is 10 Times by Grant Cardone.
Mm-hmm.
I like that book a lot, but just because it just kept repeating taking massive action.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, taking action is the key to anything.
Yeah.
And if the more you do it, the more you're going to get rewarded, or the more you're going to fail to learn how to fix it. And it was just kind of eye-opening. It's like there's really no days off in a way. You got to keep taking action. You still got to have that game plan and have the wheels moving forward. And the more action you take, the bigger the reward.
Definitely. I love that. I love Grant Cardone. I haven't read the 4 Hour Work Week, but I've heard it was very good. So I'm gonna have to get it. You kind of answered the last question with that answer. The last question was how would one get started as a headshot photographer? So I think I want to pivot because I know your craft and I'm going to show some of your craft in the video, but I say, how would one get to your level of proficiency? Because you are definitely a professional. Like you're one. It's there's very few people in the world that have like your level or like your ability of like, or just I guess the word is talent. Like honestly, like it's like how did you get to your level of ability and how could others replicate that?
So far as developing a recipe and of how I do things and then keep it doing it exactly like that. And a lot of what I do is simple, but I just keep doing it over and over and over. And there's when I first started the headshot journey, I wanted to get better. And there's two professionals that are top of the headshot game, Peter Hurley and Gary Hughes. And so I kind of read what books they had. They both have online communities. I flew out to Orlando to meet Gary Hughes and actually do a workshop with him. Peter Hurley has a big headshot crew community, and they're all giving you tips of proper color, skin tones, getting composition right, how to flatter somebody, different ways to get them. A lot of people I deal with tell me straight off they hate getting their picture made and they're not photogenic. So a lot of that is how do I deal with that and getting them into my world and getting them comfortable with me, because everybody's photogenic. You just got to be comfortable. And so learning tricks, how to get people comfortable, stuff like that. And then there's so many different ways to take a great headshot. Find the way you like to do it best. Analyze your images. Let other people analyze your images that have different eyes and tell you what's wrong with it. The pros the people that you want to be like, get advice from them, and then just fix these issues. And once you get comfortable with your workflow, just keep duplicating it.
I love that.
Because I've kind of created a recipe that whether I'm in my studio, I'm at your house, I'm at the office, I can create the same looking headshot. And it sounds simple, but that's very hard to do under different lighting conditions. Because I have my lights and I move it over there, there's different ambient light. Or if I move it outside, then I got to deal with the sun. Or if I got to go to the office that has different style lights, stuff like that. How do you make it the same and everywhere? And that's something I learned to do, and then just keep duplicating it.
I love that. I think I'm gonna start copying, like, you created your own recipe. I love that, like that phrasing. Well, that's actually the end of the video. I'm going to put all of Michael's social medias in the thumbnail so you can reach out and get you a headshot, a photo, because you definitely need and want one from him. Thank you, Michael, for joining us on the Unknown Options. Please, everyone, comment, like, and subscribe. Everyone have a nice night.